Even if your parents or your friends struggle to accept your gender or your sexuality, I think coming out is so important for your own self and your own mental health. I swear that I will spill the hottest tea and tell the truth and only the truth. I'm attracted predominantly to men, but I have attractions to people of different genders. I've had sex with people of different genders and I will continue to do so. Pansexual just means attracted to somebody individually, irrespective of their gender. There's no rules. Suck it and see. I came out to my mum and dad via text message, which doesn't sound all that modern. I was home from work and I was watching it on television. I was like, I texted my mum and dad who were in Sydney. It was like, space. And they were like, that's nice, dear, see you at dinner. And I was like, oh, well, that was easy. You know, I was worried that my parents weren't gonna love me anymore or that people would reject me. I think when you're in the closet about anything, your gender or your sexuality, you can't have an authentic connection with the people you love if you're hiding something about yourself. And if you love those people, I think what's more important is being honest, even if there's a bit of discomfort initially. So coming out, I remember feeling like there was this weight lifted off my shoulders and anything that I was scared of didn't come true, thankfully. I came out as gay and I told them that I did drag all on the same night. And actually, my dad was the person who sort of was the impetus for telling them about drag. I was just gonna drop one bombshell at a time. And then I was talking about some of my friends who were drag queens and Dad was like, oh, you know what? I reckon you'd look pretty good as a Sheila. And I was like, well, since you mention it. And turns out my dad lived with 6 drag queens back in the 70s. And so I had nothing to worry about. And I was very fortunate that that was my situation. And then I think I came out to everybody else I knew on Australian Idol. The first day as a boy, I got knocked back, and then I went back the next day in drag. And I was like, hi everyone, by the way. All the family relatives were like, is that Shane on the TV? They didn't do that, I don't know why they did that. They picked up the phone and they rang it. Is that Shane on the television? Even if your parents or your friends struggle to accept your gender or your sexuality, I think coming out is so important for your own self and your own mental health. And just make sure that you have a supportive network around you of people who understand you. If you're 18 and your parents don't accept you, just move out of home, move to the nearest big city and find people who do accept you and who do understand you and make your own family, your chosen family. And then when I was 18, I moved to Sydney, which is sort of, you know, the queer capital of Australia, the home of the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras, which is one of the biggest pride parades in the world. I just sort of discovered myself, I guess. The first time I dressed up in drag would have been, it was just after Priscilla, whenever Priscilla came out. So like 1995, it was that Christmas, I was in this sort of touring Christmas production. And then on the final night, all of the cast put on a show for each other. And my friend Scott and I got dressed up in the girls' bikinis and put some wigs on and some lipstick on. And we lip synced to, I don't care if the sun don't shine, I got my lovin' in the evening time. And that was my first foray into drag. Oh, I mean, now people love drag. It's so popular all around the world. RuPaul's Drag Race is just like this phenomenon, this cult hit. So now people are just excited. Like, it's fascinating witnessing how the world has changed, because I've been, you know, working in sort of mainstream media since 2003 after Australian Idol. And back then people were always a bit like, they didn't quite know what to do. And now, you know, people love it. They bring appropriate lighting to light a drag queen, which is nice. I mean, drag queens aren't really that different from Kardashians though. So I think people have, you know, understanding now. If you look throughout history, drag and gender, trans women were often interlinked. Now, because the conversation has evolved more, you know, the majority of trans people don't do drag. They've never been, well, they've probably maybe been to a gay bar, but it's not gay men who do drag who then, you know, come out as trans. Most trans people are just living their regular non-performance lives. But there are many trans women who do perform in drag, and I love that. You know, I am a feminist. I do believe in equality in gender, and so it's important to take active steps. You don't just be reactionary. Don't just wait for things to go wrong and then react to them. Look at places where you can lift up other people and amplify the voices of women or people of color or disabled people or people who aren't as fortunate as you. I wish that everybody chills out about gender and sexuality and race and understands that we live in this sort of intersectional community where everything overlaps, and that when everybody else is equal, the world is a better place. The tea was good. It's lukewarm now. It's not nearly as hot as I wanted it to be.